Ang sagot ni Henry CEJUDO sa sinabi ni Daniel Cormier about kay Tom Aspinall. Matatanda ang unang sinabi ni Triple C na peke o hindi tunay na belt dahil interim lamang ito, dahil ang tunay na heavyweight champion ay si John Jones.
See, man, you're turning on your Olympic team, man. You're turning against the greatest combat athlete of all time. But you know what, DC, I love it. If I was to win an Olympic silver medal, you think you see me running around? You think you see me crying? You think I would want to pick up that American flag and represent all of us? An interim bout just means you're the #1 contender. And for all you soft people that don't like that, including Tom Aspinall, because yeah, I will say this, yeah, it was too much. Save those tears. Save those tears. And if you can beat a guy like John Jones, if you can truly beat the greatest of all time and say you are a world champion, I just personally think, you know, first of all, congratulations to Tom. But at the same time, you're the #1 contender, man. The interim belts mean nothing. They mean nothing because you know what it's all about? And this is why it's all about being the absolute best in the world. And if you don't understand that, if you guys don't get that logic of you being #1 to say you're #1, not #2, #1, then it's different. But DC, you wouldn't know. You know why? Because there's only one Triple C. There's only one greatest combat athlete of all time, and his name is Triple C.
Matapos unang sabihin ni Triple C na wag munang umiyak si Tom Aspinall dahil interim belt lang ito, matatanda ang agad nagreaktong si DC.
Henry CEJUDO, man, I like the guy. I do. But this dude has never been more wrong. Henry's never been more wrong. I saw something the other day where Henry said Tom Aspinall shouldn't have been as emotional to become the champion. It's not the real belt, the interim champion. It's not fair. It's not fair. Why is it not fair? Because Henry CEJUDO became the UFC champion because he's a tremendous athlete and he is just a winner. He's just a winner. But Henry CEJUDO was not groomed to be UFC champion. Henry CEJUDO was groomed to be the Olympic wrestling champion. And he did that. And when he did that, he cried and he was excited and he was the champ and it felt like he had accomplished the world. That's what Tom Aspinall did. Why? Because it's all he's been trained to do. So while Henry was trained to become the Olympic champ, and when he accomplished that goal, amazing. Even if he would have won something else, and it wasn't as big as the Olympic gold medal, if he'd have won the world championship the year before, he'd have been crying. Sure, the world championship is real championship, but it's not the Olympic championship. He would have still felt the same because it's all he's known. It's what he's been taught to chase his entire life. So when he accomplished that, he was emotional and overwhelmed. Same for Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall's not a basketball player that turned to fighting. He's not a football player that turned to fighting. He's a kid that fought his whole life. He's around mixed martial arts his entire life. So when he became the champion, interim or not, they're wrapping 12 pounds of gold around his belt, so he got emotional. Henry's wrong. That feels as real to that kid as anything he'll ever experience. That feels as real to him as that Olympic gold medal put around Henry CEJUDO's neck back in Beijing. Because it's all he's been known to do is chase it. All he has ever been taught to do is chase that belt. His father quit working to train him to go chase that belt. Does that interim title still weigh 12 pounds? Absolutely. Is that interim title belt still gold? Absolutely. And if there is an interim champion that the belt may be more valuable today than it should, it's that heavyweight title. Again, because Jones and Stipe said they're fighting each other and no one else. Henry's wrong. Friend or not, wrong.
Title or the interim world title. I mean, he's already celebrating. I mean, it's an interim, Tom. You know, save those tears when you actually win the real bout. You know, like sometimes when I see people like that they just get too emotional after an interim bout, it seems like, yeah, you got a trophy, but it's like they might as well dip that thing in either silver or bronze because it's not the real thing. And I mean that with all due respect. Now, sometimes I wonder, I as a competitor, I start to think of their mentalities of what is it, how is it, or what is it that makes them, what is it that makes them, you know, like has he thought that he's reached the pinnacle of the world? And I'm not picking on you, Tom, but I'm just saying, dude, like, save those tears when you actually become and you actually own the undisputed title.